What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video is a continuation of the series of videos I've been releasing, and that is my top 5 NBA Finals moments. And finally, we are at the number 1 spot. If you haven't seen the previous 4, I asked you to tune into those, give your thoughts, opinions, or just to, give it a watch, like, subscribe, do your thing on that note. But now that we are at the number 1 spot, it has been reserved for none other than Michael Jordan's 6th championship ring. I don't know if you guys seen this coming, or listen, I'm gonna be honest, right? As a Chicago Bulls fan, as an NBA fan, as a Bulls fan since the 90s, I honestly would have not put anything in this place. Nothing was going to top this moment for me as an NBA fan. Nothing tops this moment. And just the game, even Michael Jordan's legacy leading up to that point of that game, is this going to be his final game with the Bulls? What's going to happen? I mean, even if you look back on the Last Dance documentary, that was the last dance for that particular team, right? Scotty, Dennis, Phil, the Tony Kukocs of the world, Steve Kerr, that whole assemblance of that team and that run to the finals after coming off of winning the 96 NBA championship and 97 NBA championship, for the Chicago Bulls to get back and ultimately be able to defend their title against a team in Utah who they faced the year before, beat them. But again, a team with Hall of Famers like John Stockton, with Karl Malone, with guys like Jeff Hornacek, Byron Russell, Greg Ostertag. I may be I'm throwing some names out there, but this video is not about those guys. It's about just Michael Jordan and what he was able to accomplish in that particular game. Of course, winning his 6th finals MVP, averaging, his finals average, is something to behold in itself. But just being in position, especially down the stretch of the game where the Bulls were down in this game late, and whether or not you know the play, but I'm gonna run it down to you, right? So the play prior to before the last shot Michael Jordan shot as a member of the Chicago Bulls, the Utah Jazz ran a play to the baseline to give Karl Malone the basketball to post up. So what Michael did on the previous play, he didn't come around to Karl Malone's blind side, but he did on the following play. And this is what makes the moment that much more. It's like he knew he had the basketball, IQ to know, okay, Karl's going to turn his back to Dennis, and that's when I'm going to go in for the steal. He stole the ball. So many seconds left. I mean, this wasn't the game winner, but it was, right? Was able to get the matchup that he wanted versus Byron Russell, and just do what Jordan usually does in a one-on-one situation. You can say what you want. Was it a push off? Some people say yes. I don't think so. He cleared his space, was able to, get the jump shot he wanted, get the look he wanted, and knocked it down. And that's one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in NBA Finals history. Just being in that moment, being a kid when I actually saw that, and that that helps create a mystique of a guy like a Michael Jordan, to go 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals, to go, to not only go 6 for 6 with championships, but also 6 for 6 with Finals MVP. In a time, right? Especially the second three-peat. I talk about the second three-peat more than I talk about the first three-peat because I remember more about the second three-peat than I remember about the first three-peat with the Chicago Bulls. And that second half, that second part of Michael Jordan's career with Chicago when he comes back out of retirement and then they lose, in the playoffs, and then they come back and run off 3 straight. Like I said, those type of things add to the mystique, which we all know as Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. And I'd be hard pressed to not say, what could have been with the Bulls if they would have been able to continue past that point of 1998 with that same group, but they weren't able to continue. But like I said, that moment right there, like I said, that did it for me as not only a basketball fan, but just somebody who loves and enjoys the game. To see Michael Jordan in that moment hold up the number 6, to see just Phil Jackson say, "Oh my God, what an ending!" It's like those moments right there will always be replayed in my mind, no matter when the time or the season ends for the NBA. It's like those moments right there is why I enjoy the game. To see players ultimately, rise to the occasion. Not everybody can do that. You want the ball in your hands. You want a chance to actually win the game and cement your legacy. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. In that moment, Michael Jordan, even though his legacy was already cemented, it was already cemented. But in that moment, to do that, and ultimately win the ultimate prize in the NBA by making that shot, it catapults him above, a lot of other guys when it comes to NBA Finals moments. And that's why Michael Jordan is number 1 on my list. The shot against the Utah Jazz in the 1998 playoffs, NBA Finals. So, man, if you guys haven't or don't know my entire list, top 5, 1 through 5. So number 5, I did have Stephen Curry. Number 4, I did have number 5 is Stephen Curry's 2022 performance versus the Boston Celtics. Number 4 is Dwayne Wade's 2006 performance versus the Dallas Mavericks. Number 3, I have Kobe's 4th championship versus the Orlando Magic in 2009. Number 2, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers coming back from a 3-1 deficit versus the Golden State Warriors in 2016. And at my number 1 spot, Michael Jordan's final championship with the Chicago Bulls and the last shot versus the Utah Jazz. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.